Good morning, guys. Sorry, brother. I was doing a little something with Ninja Trader this morning. I was talking to Tracy and Jim. So it was good. You hate Run? Sun Run? I know they had some news with Tesla this morning, or Elon said something related to them. I forget what it was. Oracle, a bit of a missed opportunity yesterday, in my opinion. As soon as this thing went green, tough. Kind of missed that one yesterday. Good morning, man. Good morning, sir. Can I give a good example of a VCP? Well, Tesla was a perfect one, right? You effectively had a flat base, and what was happening on the lower part of the chart, right? Okay, so drop from highs here, 25%. From here, it was 18%. From here, it was 12%. From here, it was 10%. From right here, it was 7.5%. From here, it was, you see the point? You see what was starting to happen there? 4%. That's the best example of a VCP you're going to find. And it's not often that, a mega caps give multi-month base VCPs. So many charts breaking out. What's my thought on QBTS? QBTS a little bit like IONQ. I kind of like IONQ a little bit more. But I think, that's fine. Pony, you missed your entry. Far gone. Your entry on Pony was on 9:15. There's no setup anymore. Snow does look good. This was on my watch list for today. Nice little flat base. We'll see if it can get going through that 232 level. Today is a do nothing day. Why is that? If there are stocks moving out of tight, clean areas, there's something to do potentially. Joby, yeah, we'll see if that thing can get going over $17. Yeah, that's what it was. It was Sunrun with some Tesla news. You guys can't see it, but I've got my dogs right here, and they've each got their head on my lap because I'm eating chickens and sausage. Oh man, who doesn't love their doggies? Team, you didn't miss nothing. The only thing you may have missed were some sweet gains if you weren't sitting in some longs overnight. No, I didn't get into VRT. I did not get into VRT, unfortunately. Really nice setup going into yesterday. I had no clue it was going to push like this. So, and also I didn't buy Dell. Didn't really see the setup yesterday. Would have been tough to buy it coming out of this kind of setup. It's not really tight, you know? The move is already on the move. So, but I did buy a lab yesterday as a pullback to the 50-day. So I bought it at 192 bucks, and it's gapping up to 200 bucks this morning. So very nice. My thoughts on DXYZ. What about this? I mean, look, it could keep ripping, but I've got no thoughts on this. It's in a downtrend, right? I mean, it's likely it could probably squeeze to the 200-day or something like that, but yeah, Zscaler was nice over 300. I thought just over this little low cheat setup. I thought it looked really good. Oracle feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity yesterday. I liked it as a red to green setup over 181.5 roughly, right in here. Kind of missed it. Such a crystal clear setup in the morning, right here with your stop at low of day, but missed it. So like I wanted AMD. I had it on last night's watch list video right over this flat pivot and back above the 50, but we're gapping up quite above it. I'm just going to leave it alone. Right. I'll be thankful that I own NVIDIA and that I own ALAB. I do not chase breakouts. I just don't do it. Stocks are either going through my key levels so I can manage risk, or I just don't take them. I don't suffer from FOMO. Like, oh my God, I knew AMD was going to go. I can't believe I don't own it. Oh, I'm such a moron. I should have bought some yesterday. First of all, that's hindsight thinking. And number two, I don't put my money at risk when a stock doesn't go through my level. That just is what it is. Could I have bought some yesterday, towards the close? Fine. I could have done that and then woken up this morning and had my stop at yesterday's low of day. No problem. But now that we are $4 or $5 away from where I actually wanted to buy it, I have to wait for another daily setup. And here's the thing. I wanted to buy AMD yesterday because I thought when this thing got above its 50 that it would start to make its way to 200. If I still have that feeling, why can't I just buy another daily setup that comes with tight risk? Right? If it's actually going to go do what I think it could do, then I haven't missed anything. No, I'm not back in AOI. Big move yesterday off that 50-day. Kind of sucks. 29 bucks. Good Lord. Nope. Baidu I liked, but it was, kind of like a high type flag, but a bit extended still. And then obviously, you're getting $142 gap up this morning. Yeah, I'm just not chasing this. Right? We're far extended from the 50-day. I'm not going to come in and buy something 10 times its ATR from the 50. It's just never going to happen. It really depends. It really depends. If I wait for the close, okay, so let me tell you where this can be dangerous, okay? Man, this one too got me. That sucks. So I bought AVGO a few days ago as a breakover prior day high. Okay, let me give you an example. So, okay, fine. I buy this as a 5-minute opening range and a breakover, prior day high. And instantly this thing starts going down on me. I get stopped out at low of day. If I don't take my stop immediately and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to wait till the end of the day to see if we break low a day, well, then look at what you got yourself into. See where that can become an issue? So low of day for me, when I know that I'm going to use low of day, I do not mess around with my stops. I don't even wait for the end of day because do I really want to end up in this? And it's like, oh man, I wanted my stop to be 335. Now all of a sudden I'm losing an extra $7 or $8 on my shares because waiting till the end of day. So yeah, I just close my position when it breaks low of day. Yes, but not the cleanest example. I gave Tesla as an example, and it was much better. If I increase my risk per trade from 0.3 to about 0.5 to 0.7, do you think I would be more profitable? Well, my win rate wouldn't go up. So I would still have the same kind of win rate, right? 30 to 40%. I'm really right about 35%. So my win rate wouldn't change, not one bit. So yeah. I mean, I don't know that I would be more profitable. Yeah, I'd make more money probably by the end of the year, but I don't need to take on more risk. I'm not in a hurry. This guy, I've got 30 more years at this career. Seeing AMD didn't break like the other semis yesterday, would I call it a laggard? No, not really. Because this thing had already made a big move off the lows, right? I mean, this thing was up off the lows 143%, and then all it did was pull back a whopping, 20%. Right? It just needed a breather after this big move, and it gave us that. Futu looks interesting if it can reclaim the 20-day, which it's doing today. Obviously gapping up a little bit with the strength in China. Thoughts on Fermi? No, I don't trade IPOs. Look at Tesla with the delivery numbers. Oh, baby. Let's go. Don't you dump now. Oh, all-time high coming? Oh, my goodness. Woo. Almost 480 bucks this morning. Oh, man, that is awesome. Oh, they crushed delivery numbers. 481,000 deliveries, 424 estimated. Let's go. That is awesome. Let's hope it doesn't give that move back, but that's sweet. NVTS. Maybe. The one that looks a little bit better on the Bible side for these small caps is this SOUN. Yeah, ERJ. A little slow, but yeah, it's got a nice base that's setting up here. This is kind of like a VCP for anybody wondering. Here's your first pullback, 24%. Here's your second pullback, 10%. Here's your third pullback, 8%. Here's your fourth pullback, potentially 3%. Thoughts on open? Nah, I'm good on trading pump stocks. Maybe when Eric Jackson stops talking about it. I did not buy STX WDC. There was no setups in those this week. Where was the setup in WDC? And why would I buy it this week? So I'm supposed to buy something when it's already vertical? You know when I like buying something? Here's your consolidation right here. See this sideways? This, I'm supposed to buy this week, this extended from the 50. Same with STX. VRT I thought was buyable yesterday. How do I deal with a stock with upper wicks? Wait for price to take out those upper wicks. I don't mind ASTS. Don't know that I would be a buyer just yet, but yesterday would have had to have been the day. AMSC. Yeah, maybe. 61.5 maybe. How do you know how big to go on each trade and setup? Well, I tend to keep position sizing about the same for all my positions, right? I try to never go more than 10%. So, but in some instances, I go a little bit less because maybe I'm not seeing things well, or, the market's a little choppy. Triple digits in 23 and 24. Not this year because it's just hard to do with my account. AMD, I won't be buying anymore. I wanted it over 165. I don't, I'm not going to be chasing a gap up. No, I don't think you're crazy. I think Peloton's looking a whole lot better. But I don't know. Is it really like we are in the midst of all the picks and shovels for the AI build out and data center and semiconductor theme, and you want Peloton? You know what I mean? Yeah, MDB's fine. And what gap up? This thing closed at 321.53 and it's at 321.80 right now. There's no gap up here. 30 cents doesn't constitute as a gap up for a $300 stock. That's like 0.01. What do I think about USAR? Big base. Yeah, over 19 and then over 20 would be interesting. You missed Datadog? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of did too. This thing had a nice setup a few days ago. Do I think Oklo can take back highs soon? I mean, don't tell me you bought it at 140. Yeah, I think Oklo looks interesting if it starts to take out this range, which it's already doing on the gap up. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what MU can do, but the setup has been missed. MU's entry was here on 9.4. If you really wanted to chase it up a little bit on 9.5, or if you really wanted to get frisky and you had to have it, you had to buy it yesterday. If you didn't do that, then, and you're chasing it here, you're doing it all wrong. You're going to take 1,000 trades in your career and you're not going to be happy with the end result because there won't be any money left to trade with. Yeah, I also bought Rocket Lab yesterday, but I didn't like the close on it, so I just got rid of it. I can deal with it today. Did I get into ETHU? No. Abcel, this is one of the battery names. Is that right? I'm not sure. Holy cow, this thing squeezed to 7 and after hours. Hello. Almost $8. Would have been good to take some off into that push. Bull? No. Don't own the worst one of all the names. Like it is a bull market, and the stock that you're looking at was going down yesterday. The past 2 days, the stock market's been effing ripping, and you're looking at a stock that just went down yesterday and really has got absolutely zero momentum. Are you looking at this because has gone up so much that you feel like bull's going to eventually play catch up or look like Hood one day? Bad thinking. Yeah, Oklo doesn't look that terrible. I think Oklo looks pretty interesting for today. I just have trouble kind of buying a gap up this morning. I personally think iron's still too extended from the 50-day. I mean, I don't think that. Mathematically, from the way I trade, it's too extended. I could tell you right now how extended it is if you want to know. Give me a second. Iron is 11 times its ATR from the 50. It's just not something I can buy. I got no rules to get me into something like that. You know what I mean? I got no setup, no nothing. I'm trimming into this. I'm not buying this. I trim into this kind of strength, right? And then when we begin to go sideways, I'd be comfortable buying it. But yeah, PDD I've owned for a month. Would be nice to see this thing going eventually. I've owned this literally since the 4th. Oh wait, the 3rd. No, I don't want BMNR. If you want an Ethereum name, why not ETHU? Guys, I don't want to repeat this every day, but I'm going to just say it one time for everybody. Why would I buy something that Tom Lee is selling? He's selling BMNR so he can buy more Ethereum. Why are you then buying BMNR so he can buy more Ethereum? Why not just buy the thing he's buying? He's out there diluting the hell out of you if you buy BMNR so they can buy more Ethereum. So why not just do what they are doing, which is just buy Ethereum or ETHU? Like, why would I buy MSTR when Michael Saylor is selling it to buy Bitcoin? Right? I don't want to own MSTR. I want to do what he's doing. I want to be like Mike. Be like Mike. This makes no sense, Evan. I'm sorry. This question doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Does it cost more to have the stocks go down on you? I have no idea what that even means. You'll have to like rephrase that whole thing again. Start over. Ask again. I don't know what that means at all. No, this isn't necessarily a low cheat setup. TMDX isn't a low cheat setup, and it's still below its 50-day. It's got some work to do. You can mention it again in like a week or so, and we'll see where it's at. But it doesn't look terrible. It's just, not doing all that much. Is CRDO buyable? Maybe. Yeah, it's gapping up quite a bit. I think it needs to get back above its 20. 152.75. We'll see what it does when it gets above that. I personally already own A-Lab, so yeah, it might be a little stronger in that sense that it didn't touch the 50, but it touching the 50 basically gave me a clear-cut level where I'm going to leave. Yeah, PDD is not bad. It's just deadly slow. So if you don't already own it from lower, I don't really know about chasing this one up. Nah, there's no real setup. I mean, do you really want to own a slow one that's slightly extended? Wait for it to tighten up a bit more. Heck yeah. Nice job buying Palantir. I'm a little jealous there. I had a $181 average and I got stopped out like $2 lower. I don't know that I looked at SMTC yesterday. No, I wouldn't have said it moves too slow. It moves 4.76% per day. I don't know if it would have been this one. Maybe, but it seems unlikely that I would have said that because 4% is plenty fast. Yeah, USAR is coiled, but it's, got a breakout. Yeah, if a stock takes out a low and then resets back up or starts to turn back up on a smaller time frame, like back through, red to green or back through the opening print or reclaim a VWAP or take out intraday highs, something, I could just buy it again. No, then we've moved too much. Do I buy a 5+ ADR stock if the low day is more than 4 or 5%? No. Then we've moved too much of the stock's average daily range already. ARM does look pretty good and ready to go. Big base in ARM. I mean, huge base in ARM. Yeah, looks ready. Yesterday was a nice day. Yes, but I'll be stopped out today on MSTR. We'll see if it rejects the 200 simple moving average, but yeah. A waste of my time because I did a terrible job covering sub 300. Yeah, Shane, we talked about this on the trading floor already this morning. Between me and a couple of the fellas, you already know how I feel. I'm not here to chase gap ups. I just don't do it. It's like too long of a trading career to be, chasing a gap up. It's not like I got FOMO. I own A-Lab and I own NVIDIA. So I just wanted to add AMD into the basket of semiconductors that I own. But if it gaps up, then it just gaps up and you miss it. No, I think, Spot's in a tough spot because of Netflix. If Netflix keeps going lower, I think Netflix, has enough weight to also drag this Spotify down. That's right. Yep. That's exactly why we got it. Just to boost the delivery numbers by one. No, I'm gonna Scotland, I'm gonna write what's the governor of Minnesota? I forget his name. The guy who bought him, he's like, if I ever want to smile, I look at the Tesla share price. That was literally the bottom. Oh no. I forget his name in the moment, but classic. Yeah, everybody boycotting the Tesla cars, which is weird because everybody, like was mentioned, has been getting one. Sup X. What am I thinking on the quantum names? Well, if my computer would load here, then that would be pretty helpful, and I'll tell you guys in a second. Whenever it's ready. But the quantum stocks do look ready for a potential another leg up. Obviously, IONQ has to take out and live above that $65 that $65 level. We'll see. Okay, let me take a peek. Don't know why that took so long. So here's SupX. Yeah, 0% chance I'm buying this stock. It's gone from $2 to 68 and resembles a Chinese pump more than anything. I'm not buying this stock. It feels like you'll look at this thing in a day and it'll be back at 30. Yeah, but it does look like maybe IONQ could be ready to go higher. So I covered half of my position yesterday, 61 and a half. And then I saw this kind of a pullback. I thought I was all good, but over $65 today, and I'll be out of the last of my short. I've got it from 74. But it does look like it could bounce off the 20 and continue higher. Five, yeah, where it's just kind of channeling higher. So very similar before the breakout, but part of what could make five not nearly as explosive is they're not in the same sector. It's good to remember that you can't just look at price action and say, oh, this looks very similar to a stock in a totally different sector. And part of the reason is half of a stock's price appreciation is directly correlated to the group it's in, right? So if five is not in the same sector, and I know it's not, as STX, then it's likely not going to give you the same kind of price action. Did you buy UNFI on the earnings gap up? Doesn't look bad. AMSC, yeah, it does look better. And it's a semiconductor name. So, yeah, we'll see. It looks good. Super tight day yesterday. No, because you can just swing things on a smaller time frame. Yeah, like you could swing things on a 2-day. It doesn't need to be on like it doesn't need to turn into a position trade. Like I don't think day trading is a skill you have to have or anybody has to have. Like you don't need to trade like news, right? Know your levels, know when you like to execute those trades. What are the underlying market conditions? What's the market or what's the group doing at the time you're executing? Nice. You bought CEG or GEV yesterday, 606. I like it. Yeah, I bought it right around that level too. I was a little bit late to it, but it's still working this morning. Really, I thought this 620 setup was nice down here off the lower trend line. But I won't add any more until we get back above the 50. SITM. Little extended, but it's not bad. Yeah, ASML, I missed it. Yeah, there's 1,042. Holy cow. Yeah, stick this one at all-time high too. Yeah, I was trying to buy this one down here with no luck. It didn't end up going anywhere. Shame. Should have focused on it again right through here. Oh well. Too late to buy a lab? No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I wouldn't chase the gap up today, but like, when it reclaims the 20-day, it could be good again. Thoughts on NIU Chinese name? No. Trades $2 million a day, far too thin. On a 10% position, what percent of that position do you typically risk? Yeah, great question. Depends how low my stop is, but let's just say my stop is 4% to low of day, then I'm risking 0.4 of 1%, right? Or 0.4% of my portfolio effectively. 0.4%. Very manageable loss. Am I concerned the market may be peaking? Nobody knows when the market's peaking. I'm not doing anything differently. I'm not trying to guess when the market's going to peak. What I'll start to do is I'll start to, key in on a few stocks that I think may be acting weak. And then I'll short them. And if the market's giving me traction on the short side, I'll take another. And then if the market's giving me more traction, I'll take another. And then if I begin to get stopped out on my longs, that'll be, kind of more feedback that I should maybe take another. And that's just kind of what I do. Right. And then before I know it, I've got no longs left. My equity curve didn't get hurt because I've been taking a few shorts that have been working. And now all of a sudden I've got a full portfolio of swing shorts. So I really don't care. Right. I mean, I think some people care because they're a long bias only. I don't have a bias at whatsoever. Well, it's not the same position sizing on all trades. Most of my recent trades have only been 5% positions. My Tesla trade was about 15, which again, not nearly enough, but hindsight's 2020. I just couldn't find a fourth and a fifth spot to, size up a Tesla. But I do agree with Lance. There is exponential bet sizing. I mean, I even tweeted, if you don't have irresponsible size on Tesla, you don't have enough size. And I wanted irresponsible size on Tesla. And I bought it 3 times. I just couldn't get more size on Tesla. So sucks, but I am sitting in here with $120 cushion and no plans to leave. No, depends because you're also dealing with appreciation. So, like 5 to 10%, maybe sometimes less, maybe 4%. Depends how big the position was originally. Yeah, on a smaller account, yeah, you want maybe 20% positions. See, but I feel like a lot of people are kind of saying this. If this consolidates at highs and then breaks out, then all of a sudden you'll get super large on it. The best time to have bought it was on that $350 breakout. I mean, it was such a gorgeous breakout. Thoughts on sale? Isn't this a recent IPO? Not bad. Nice technical setup. I don't know much about the company, but I was trying to buy a lab as close to the 50 simple moving average as I could yesterday. No, QS is not an EP just because it had a big up day yesterday. Right? This is not an EP setup. What's the news? News is what creates EPs. MP could be good if it, will hold the 50. I think ARM also looks really nice. Lumen, not so much. I mean, Lumen's fine, right? But I don't know. It's just one of a million setups right now. Guys, I want you to really do your best to focus in on the cream of the crop. If you trading with like less than 100K account, you only need 5 positions, right? If your account's much bigger, $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, you probably want 10 to 12 positions. That's it. So like, what are the 12 best stocks in the best themes right now? Right? Maybe Lumen fits, is number 477 on the list of things that to be must owned. ARM much higher, MP much higher on the list, right? Rare earths, charging, drones, data centers, charging, powering the data centers, semiconductors, anything AI related, that kind of thing, right? Futuristic. Lumen, okay, I get it. They do connectivity, but are they better than, AAOI? And I understand their kind of connectivity is a little bit different, but maybe Lumen, maybe they're not number 400 and whatever, but you only need 5 stocks if you're trading with like less than $1 million account. So it's like, where does it fit on the list of the 5 names I must own? And it's like, oh, but I don't want NVIDIA. It's too slow. Well, NVDL is not too slow. It's like, and where were you on Tesla, right? So it's like there are plenty, and then you don't got much more buying power left. Nice job on your patience with BE. Yeah, Futu, not too bad. EME was on last night's watch list video. Sorry, I'm kind of going through these quickly. AMD over 165 looked really nice. Yeah, the CoreWeave, I love the tight day yesterday. Beautiful. And now we're gapping up above that. Yeah, man, so many setups just going on out there. Like it's like almost too much merchandise to keep track of. I'm a little bit more cautious on chasing a gap up this morning. I'm being paid well just in Tesla alone, gapping up another $12. So I'm kind of just more on the cautious side of chasing too many gap ups. Plus my preferred entries on like an AMD over 165 is gone. So, even if I just got to be patient, let my longs work, we'll just take it one setup at a time. But things look awesome. Yeah, CoreWeave's another one of those. And you see how he brings up CoreWeave? You see how Scotland, if you guys follow him on Twitter, been talking about MP. He's talking about Dell. He's talking about MBIS. He's talking about, A-Lab. He's talking about stocks in play, in themes in play with liquidity that institutions would be interested in. Not stocks with, without that. SOUN is kind of interesting. I got to say, again, I don't love the gap up, but I thought, over yesterday's highs would be pretty interesting. And we are right there right now. 1650s does look pretty interesting. AOI is another interesting one. Kind of took off without me, stopped me out a few days ago. Massive day yesterday. When this thing moves, it moves. I'm in NVIDIA. I bought it twice. It's my second largest position at the moment, next to Tesla. So, and then PDD, and then, ARC and Microsoft. So, but anyway, guys, I got to get going. It's almost 8:30. I appreciate you guys for being here. Sorry for being a little bit late today. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Sorry I couldn't get to all the questions, guys. Apologize about that, but I got in a little late today. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Trade them well. And I'll see you guys in 23 hours. Cheers.